You are trying to run the most complex software in the known universe using lawnmower engine fuel. Your brain represents only 2% of your body mass, yet it consumes more than 20% of your total daily energy. If you feel your mental clarity vanishing after lunch or your memory failing at critical moments, the problem isn't your intelligence. The problem is the systemic inflammation you are ingesting 3 times a day. Welcome to the NeuroReset Protocol. Today, we are going to talk about neuronutrition. Most people treat diet as a matter of aesthetics or cardiovascular health. For the performance architect, food is first and foremost. Information and neurochemical precursors. Every bite you take sends a direct signal to your neuromitochondria and determines the integrity of your cell membranes. Your brain is, for the most part, composed of fat. But not just any fat. It relies on essential fatty acids to maintain synaptic fluidity. When you consume processed vegetable oils and hydrogenated fats, you are building the walls of your brain cells with cheap, defective construction material. This makes the communication between your neurons slow, inefficient, and prone to error. It's like trying to send high-speed data through rusted copper cables. The first commandment of the Brain Fuel Protocol is the elimination of the inflamed blood-brain barrier. Refined sugar is not just a source of empty calories. It is a neurotoxin that causes insulin spikes that eventually lead to cerebral insulin resistance. Scientists are already calling Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes. Every time you cause a glycemic spike, you are literally cooking your brain's proteins through a process called glycation. To reclaim your mental sharpness, you need to transition from a system based on spikes and crashes to a constant energy system. Your brain loves ketone bodies and medium-chain fatty acids. They are like jet fuel for your neurons, providing a stable clarity that sugar can never replicate. But it's not just about fat. We need to talk about neurotransmitters. Your ability to focus depends on acetylcholine, your sense of well-being depends on serotonin, and the building blocks for these substances are not manufactured in a vacuum. They come from the amino acids and micronutrients present in real food. If your gut is inflamed by ultra-processed foods, your neurotransmitter production is compromised at the source. Remember, your gut is your second brain, and they are in constant communication via the vagus nerve. If there is war in your digestive system, there will be no peace in your cognitive system. To truly optimize your hardware, you need more than just calories. You need precision. You need micronutrients that act as synaptic catalysts. Compounds that don't just sustain life but actively enhance the speed, efficiency, and resilience of your neural networks. The first of these is omega-3 fatty acids, specifically DHA. DHA is not just good for you. It is a primary structural component of your cerebral cortex and your retina. In other words, it literally makes up a significant portion of the physical architecture of your brain and your ability to see and process the world around you. When your intake of DHA is insufficient, your brain doesn't just perform worse, it begins to age faster. Neural membranes lose their flexibility, signaling becomes less efficient, and your overall processing speed starts to decline in subtle but cumulative ways. Over time, this doesn't feel like a dramatic crash. It feels like a slow dimming of clarity, a slight delay in thinking, a reduced ability to hold complex ideas in your mind. And most people never trace it back to what's on their plate. Next, we have polyphenols, powerful compounds found in dark berries, high-quality cocoa, and deeply pigmented plant foods. These are not just antioxidants in the generic sense. They play a direct role in enhancing cerebral blood flow, ensuring that oxygen and nutrients reach your brain efficiently and consistently. But even more importantly, polyphenols stimulate the production of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Think of BDNF as fertilizer for your neurons. It supports neuroplasticity, which is your brain's ability to adapt, rewire, and form new connections. It helps your brain recover from stress, repair damage, and build stronger, more efficient pathways for thinking, learning, and memory. Without adequate levels of BDNF, your brain becomes rigid, less adaptable, and far more vulnerable to cognitive decline. With it, your brain becomes dynamic, responsive, and capable of continuous growth. But the NeuroReset Protocol is not only about what you put into your body, it's also about when you choose to stop. Intermittent fasting is one of the most underestimated biohacking tools for mental clarity and cognitive performance. Not because it's trendy, but because it activates ancient, deeply embedded biological mechanisms that modern lifestyles rarely allow us to access. When you enter a fasted state, your body initiates a process called autophagy. This is not a surface-level cleanse. It is deep cellular recycling. Your system begins to identify damaged proteins, dysfunctional cellular components, and metabolic waste and systematically breaks them down, repurposing them into clean, usable energy. It is a reset at the cellular level, improving efficiency and reducing the internal noise that interferes with optimal function. And something even more interesting happens in your brain. In a fasted state, your mind shifts into what could be described as a hunter mode. Your visual acuity sharpens. Your focus narrows and intensifies. Your discipline becomes more accessible, less forced. This is not accidental, it is evolutionary design. For most of human history, hunger was not a signal to slow down. It was a signal to perform. If you hadn't eaten, your survival depended on your ability to think clearly, move strategically, and locate your next source of food, so your brain adapted. It became sharper under pressure, more alert under scarcity, more precise when it mattered most. That system is still within you, boot. It's been buried under constant consumption and overstimulation. The NeuroReset Protocol reactivates it. So the action plan is simple but not easy. Eliminate industrial seed oils that destabilize your cellular structure. Reduce sugar as close to zero as possible to eliminate metabolic chaos. Prioritize high bioavailability proteins that provide the amino acids your brain depends on. And fuel yourself with healthy fats that support long-term, stable energy. Every meal is no longer entertainment. It is an investment in your clarity, your intelligence, your ability to execute at a high level. Your brain is the most valuable asset you will ever own. Everything you build, every decision you make, every opportunity you recognize, it all runs through that system. And yet most people sabotage it daily with low-quality fuel and unconscious habits. That ends now. Fuel the machine with intention. Build your mind with precision. Dominate your day with clarity and control. Commit to the protocol. Welcome to Neuro.